It's interesting because there are sort of two ways that I think about this. One of them is that black opera is just opera that happens to be written by black people, and a lot of stuff that happens in Treemonisha, if I look at it musically, if I look at it from a technical or an analytical perspective, is exactly the same or extremely similar to what would be happening in any other opera that's being written in that sort of general time period.
But I think with this idea of black opera, it is what is the presence of black or bodies from the African diaspora in this art form of opera, which is traditionally very Western, often a lot of rules around what is considered opera in and of itself. So then when we're talking about what is black participation in that, I think that's its own sort of world to think about.
It's sort of interesting that it gets separated out as black opera, which has more to do with society and what we've programmed and what we haven't programmed in the whole sort of arc of racism and then anti-racism in society. The other half of that question is, of course, there are elements of Treemonisha which are specific to black music. To say one sort of thing is black opera is always challenging, I think.
I keep going back to who's the creators, because I think more and more as we're looking at who writes the pieces, who's creating the pieces through which black bodies get to be presented on stage.
Black music or any sort of different non-traditional classical music is that at one time it's really easy to put things into a box, but I think by definition when you're looking at broadening your scope of what you're programming or what you're listening to, it sort of resists easy categorization at the same time.